Spread throughout North America, there are many unique fishing destinations. One that is really close to our heart is Leech Lake in central Minnesota. Leech Lake is big with 112,000 acres of water with really diverse fishing opportunities, resorts, and outdoor recreation 365 days a year. For us, fall is a great time to be on the water. Once hunting season opens in the North Country, boat landings are empty and you have the whole lake to yourself. Let's join Jeremy Smith, Jeff Simpson, with James and Al Lindner enjoying some hot late season bites on one of Minnesota's crown jewels.
But a lot of people don't take advantage of this fall bite for numbers and quality of fish. They're hunting. Leaves more fish for me and James.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
That one, yep. Yes, nice one too, Jeff. Nice one. There we go. Sweet. Woo! He just pounded it, baby. He just creamed it. Look at that. Good morning, muskie. Whoa. All right, Jeffrey. All right, sweet. We're on a Leech Lake mission. Jimmy and Al, we're gonna do a little walleye fishing out here today. It's fall. It's one of our favorite times of year to fish. And Jeff and I were like, we're not so much in the mood for walleye. It's been such a beautiful fall. Let's catch a muskie. I don't know, 3 minutes in, bam, muskie in the boat. Okay, sorry, I tend to exaggerate. I'm all shaky, it's dark, so a lot of people think that early in the morning, late in the fall like this is not a great time to fish. But I find that it can be an awesome time to fish when you've got the ciscos pushing up. They're near the surface, they're often near shallower water, and man, oh man, the muskies are right there with them. Show you why I love fishing here so much, because you've got potential to catch fish like this out here. It's absolutely one of Minnesota's crown jewels. The boys are gonna have a good time, I know, catching walleyes, but for Jeff and I, getting a chance to come out, catch a muskie like this on a beautiful fall morning is as good as it gets. Oh, and they're just gorgeous fish. I just love them. All right, let's get this girl back. All right, let's let her go. Oh, great fish, man. Great muskie. Whew. Oh, that's a beaut, huh? You know, from season opener all the way up till freeze up, there's some great muskie bites that happen, but I think anybody who is really into muskie fishing knows that fall really is the prime time to run into some big fish. They're as heavy as they get, and oftentimes the fish can be relatively concentrated just based on the food. And Leech Lake has both ciscos and lake whitefish in it, and fall is a time where you can run into big pods of those cool cold water forage species for muskies. And when you run into those big pods of bait like that, it's amazing how many big predators can be with them. So Jeff and I right now are out taking advantage of the fall primetime bite where the muskies are eating up on some ciscos, taking advantage of that. And a lot of times early and late in the day this time of year are peak periods. So those fish often come up to spawn, or if it's pre-spawn, they're a lot of times near the surface where muskies have access to them, and they know that. And it seems like if you get a calm, sunny day in the fall, the muskies will be near the bottom. But if you get out early, the ciscos are still up and the muskies are hunting those things down, and you can really have a great bite on the bookends of the day, early in the morning and then again late in the evening. Oh, there it is again. This is kind of cool. You can see, I want to show you this. I did not see it with my eyes. So if you see right here, that's the actual fish in the water column, and I could see him moving on the side imaging here. So there's the muskie, You can see that his shadow, I've got that line, and then I get that nice little white return there. And that was definitely a musky following on side imaging. You know, so much of really what you deem success in musky fishing is like how many fish did you move, how many follows did you have. But when you're fishing in this low light, it's, you know, or at night, it's obviously hard to see into the water to see the fish, and you really got to believe your electronics that, you know, in this dark here we have not seen a fish yet, but side imaging has shown us like 4 follows already. So you can kind of see that there will be like some lines in the water, like a little wavy thing, and then a lot of times in the black zone, which is just below your boat, that little spot between the center line and the bottom of the lake, then all of a sudden you see a little white line appear in there, and then you're seeing some wavy action out to the side of the boat. And those are muskies following. You just can't see them with your eyes. So when you do indeed see that, mark it down, pay attention to it, because those are the follows. Those are the fish you want to come back to when you know you've got the right conditions. So fishing early in the day or late at night, when you don't get the chance to actually see the fish with your eyes, your electronics nowadays can actually show you the fish following the bait as well, which is pretty cool. And you got to believe it, because it's for real. Oh, there's one. Little guy bolted off. Oh my gosh, there's one behind me. Look at this. This is a great example right here of a follow. Okay, so you can see here. Look at here. Okay, so this is the fish moving. There he is, right there, and then you can see him again, kind of waving right there. That's a really cool, you know, that's exactly what you want to see. And it's just dark enough right now, I can't actually see the fish, but it looks pretty sweet, isn't it? That's the muskie. That's his signature right there.
You know, in the fall, Jerry and I love to get out early in the mornings and get after these muskies. This is really just a small window that we can target. You know, we get out here before sunrise, and there's a small window. Everything's real active, the bait are up. And when the sun comes up about now, we're losing confidence. So that window's pretty much closed. But that's the beautiful thing about Leech Lake. You know, the muskies may be shut down for now, but hopefully Al and James, they're up on the other part of this lake chasing walleyes. They're gonna probably catch some walleyes, and the panfish can go all day. So what a fabulous, fabulous fishery.
Come here, buddy. This segment is brought to you by Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line. Give me
Oh, I got it.
Easy there.
That's what I
There
like.
we
Oh,
go.
yeah, big fish. Nice fish again.
Yeah.
Nice fish again, Ned. Whew.
Boy, they're real fatzos in here. Come here, buddy. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Look at that guy there. Beautiful fish. Look at that. Wow. Leech Lake special. Come here, buddy. You know, Leech Lake is one of those special bodies of water. We've actually fished out here for many, many years, and we've shot television shows for walleyes, smallmouth bass, big muskies, crappies, bluegills. It's a real special lake that really has a tremendous carrying capacity. Just the way the lake is laid out, there's giant flats, lots of big weed beds, reef systems, even big smallmouths. It's a really, really special body of water. You know, and throughout the year, the cool thing about this lake, there's always something biting out here. You know what I mean? That's one thing about, you know, certain lakes, they have such tremendous carrying capacity. There's always different things to do on it.
Oh, got one, Jim.
You do?
Yeah.
That one's fast.
Nice. Nice job, ball.
What's that?
Not a big one, but not a bad one. Yeah, you know, if you were to look, I don't need it. I can flip this one. Just on the cusp of being a flipper. The way the bite's been going, you need to get a few of these mixed in with it, huh? Yeah, yeah. Real good eater. Good go. Yeah, water is still, you know, a couple different basin areas of the lake that we've been on. The one area we're in now has a little more, definitely some more color to it. Without a doubt, there's more color. and versus some of the other ends. In the area that we've been getting the bites is when we can find some stain in the water. Yeah, you know, when you're dealing with shallow fish, yeah, you know, and these fish are, well, we're catching them from 6 to, the one under the screen there, 6 to about 10. You know, watercolor can make a difference, especially when it's flat, calm, and sunny like this. The little pods of fish are just wandering, you know, 2 or 3 fish here, and you can just see them just swimming around on this massive flat area that we're here. He's scanning with the Mega Live, just looking. And you see him, man, there's 2 or 3 here, you get a cast in there. And hopefully it gets in front of one of them enough to stop them to eat the bait. They like to eat when you're throwing the right thing.
You don't have all bluebird flat calm days.
Just a perfect eating size fish. See, that's what I'm talking about, these Daiwa drags.
We got walleye stuff, we got crappie stuff, we got pike stuff.
This boat is rigged up about as nice.
Easy to use, and it flat out works.
It's a must-have when you're talking about big waves. Well, these trout are so darn tough.
This bait is legendary. I don't know if I could, you think I can flip them? I'm gonna not flip them, I'm gonna, 8, I can do it. Yes, we're there. Right on, this one was right on the edge of flipping her over. You know, one of the reasons that I personally really love Leech Lake is it's one of those bodies of water that walleyes like to bite on a jig. It's noted for a jig bite, actually all season long. Naturally heavier in spring and in fall, but even in the middle of summer, jigging plastic, a jigging wrap, those style of baits, hair jigs. And it's funny how different lakes have a presentation, yeah, you know, that they're kind of known for. You'll hear guys say, this is a rig lake, this is a spinner lake, this is a plug lake. Well, Leech is a jig lake, and that's one of my favorite ways to catch walleyes. That's why I love this lake.
I'm throwing about as classic of a Leech Lake bait you could possibly throw. This is a VMC hardball jig, 1/8 ounce with a rainbow minnow on there. But realistically, when you're talking jigs, particularly for the shallow water bite, hair jigs are really good depending on the time of the year. So can be soft plastics. But the big thing is what the fish are willing to bite. Right now we're fishing in relatively cold water, and they'll bite on a little bit of everything, but hair and a jig and a minnow seems like it's the best right now. But throughout the summer months, a lot of times the soft plastics is all you need. A lot of times we fish with like these suicide shads in a moon-eye jig and fishing it really hard and fast. Right now with that water temperature being cooler, they're a little bit more inactive where you need that little bit slower, more subtle drop speed. We're using relatively lightweight baits. But when you look at the lake, what's so cool about Leech, it's so diverse and so large. You have big, expansive cabbage beds spread over these flats. In some areas you have this weed called cara or sandgrass, and a lot of times perch really like that, and in turn walleyes like that. And then you look at the gravel and boulder flats that are around this lake. You can jig all over the entire body of water.
For today's jigging mission, Al and I are both using the same stick, just different models. It's a 6-foot, 8-inch, medium power, extra fast action. The extra fast tip is ideal for snap jigging like Al is doing with artificials, but the extra fast action also provides the right amount of flex in the tip when the waldos aren't launching the jig, they're just hanging on the minnow. You can put a bit of pressure on the fish without risking them dropping the bait. St. Croix has this power and action in their 3 walleye lines, Icon, Avid Series Walleye, and Legend Tournament Walleye, because this is the ultimate jigging rod. I'm fishing with Daiwa's Regal LT. This is a classic from Daiwa that was recently designed with the LT concept of light and tough. For 60 bucks, there isn't another reel out there that fishes this smooth and packs in so many features like the carbon light body, digi gears, and 9-ball bearings. Line choice is dependent on your preference. However, we've seen plenty of times when braid versus mono can have a distinct advantage over the other. When snap jigging shallow, we're often using Suffolk's Advanced Mono in 6 or 8 pound test. And for dragging or fishing deeper, we'll often go with 8 or 10 pound Suffolk's 832 braid. Both of us are using an 8 pound fluorocarbon leader.
One thing, when you get them, they're good ones.
So that was on a number 8 Shad Rap.
Your style of boat control is really key.
One that was there from the very beginning.
You want to be able to see in the water. The adventure begins.
We are loaded for bear. We got
You know,
pikes.
there's so many different ways to fish for walleye. Dependability and efficiency.
Simple, fast, and easy.
The best rods on the planet. You get them, they're good ones. This is a real good one. Like that first one that you had.
Fall bites.
Yeah. Get your head out of there. Not a bad one. Pretty good one. Huh? Look at that.
You know, jigs are actually a pretty interesting bait. They're really so simple, but they're not really. Actually, when you look at various types of jigging, we fish these baits a wide variety of different ways. In really cold water for really negative fish, a lot of times if the fish are inactive, do you know what I'll do? Is not jig it at all. Take it, drop it to the bottom, and reel it on the bottom. And the fish will pick it up off the bottom, and I'll intermittently stop the bait a lot. Then you look at hair jigging. A lot of times what we do with a hair jig is we can fish it really super erratic, moontail, and you fish it really erratic so it pops up and down really fast. Sometimes, like in really cold water conditions like what we'd have here, you go to a really lightweight head, and it's a very, very slow, subtle swimming retrieve. Same thing with soft plastics, a suicide shad and like a moon eye. A lot of times that we'll fish it with a relatively heavy head, and then a 3 or 4 inch bait, but we'll fish it so the bait jumps up and then snaps real fast back down. Jumps up, snaps right back down again. So jigs are, as simple as they are, there's a lot of little subtleties to becoming a really good jig angler. There's no question about that. And the intriguing thing is what I'm talking about. You can see a really dynamic difference on the number of fish you catch based on the attitude of the fish. If the fish are neutral or negative, the more the subtlety of your retrieve is. There's no question about it. Where you fish the bait one way, and you catch a lot of fish, and then you fish it another way, you will catch none.
There's 2 times of the year where you got a lot of fish and a lot of big fish that are up shallow. But that's spring of the year, pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn. And then after that, they spread out and do different things. Then again, come in fall, after the lakes turn over, and that water gets into the low to mid 50s, the fish that have been suspended, the fish that have been lead core fish across the basin of the lakes, these fish all join the weed fish and the structure fish. Not all, but a big percentage of them come back into the shorelines. And this happens in a lot of walleye lakes. So you got a fall movement that these walleyes, and a night bite, by the way, now. The night bite can be tremendous on a lot of these lakes. But those 2 time frames, the spring that everybody knows about, but a lot of people don't take advantage of this fall bite for numbers and quality of fish. They're hunting. Leaves more fish for me and James. There you go. So many times I've had people send me emails, a letter, ask me at church outreach programs, talk to me at sport shows and stuff that follow the closings on our show. And they often say, I got a hard time understanding the Bible. A lot of it just doesn't make sense to me. Well, welcome to the club. There's a whole lot of it that doesn't make sense in a lot of cases because we're not quite capable of understanding a lot of it. Let me read a scripture to you that really addresses that issue. And I got the Passion Bible here, I got the New King James here, but this one explained it a little clearer. It's the Message Bible. And it was so simple and so clear. This is Solomon, who was considered the wisest, richest man that ever lived. This is in Ecclesiastes 8, verse 16 and 17. When I determined to load up on wisdom and examine everything taking place on earth, I realized that if you keep your eyes open day and night without blinking, you'll never figure out the meaning of what God is doing on this earth. Search as hard as you like, you're not going to make sense of it. No matter how smart you are, you won't get to the bottom of it all. That said so much. It makes it so simple. And what I mean by simple, don't complicate it. And the Word of God is built around your personal faith. He's moved by faith. It says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith-filled prayer is what moves him. Not vain repetitions or that. It's faith-filled prayer. Do you believe what you're saying? Is it coming from your heart, not from your head? When you have faith-filled prayer, God answers it. Don't try to make sense out of it, because you're not going to make sense out of it. And I found this so enlightening for so many people. Just read. You're not going to figure it out. I don't care how smart you are. There's things in God's Word that you're not going to figure out. It's a God deal, not you. God is God, and you and I are human, flawed in so many ways. However, we have access through Him. We have access to His Word to tell us how to live a faith-filled life and make life a whole lot easier in all of the circumstances that we face in this world we live in today. I thought that was a great read, and I just wanted to share it with you. Hopefully it makes your day like it made mine. And from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good fishing season. See you on the water.